Doug Brown, host of College Wrestling, and welcome to Memorable Matches, a series that showcases Iowa Public Television's most exciting matches from our first 20 years of televising college wrestling. A pin, a fall, a stick. They all mean the same thing in wrestling. And if you're the one administering the pain, it's ecstasy. But if you're the unfortunate one, it's agony. We've seen some terrific pinners over the years in college wrestling, and that's why we call this group the Terminators. Each individual is unique when it comes to pinning an opponent. Some, like Iowa's Rico Chiapparelli and Royce Alger, play with the fans and raise their arms in jubilation. And then there are others like T.J. Jaworski of North Carolina, Tom Ortiz of Arizona State, or Penn State's Kerry McCoy, who tend to be more matter-of-fact in their demeanor. There's also Wisconsin's David Lee, who has his own way of achieving dominance with that crunching bent-legged Turk. And lastly, there are the upset pins and the rematch possibilities. Revenge, can be a sweet thing to behold. The four matches that come to mind are the match and rematch of Iowa's Brooke Simpson and Iowa State's Eric Volker, and Iowa State's Dave Ozenbaugh and Iowa's Lou Bannock. The drama that unfolded in those bouts is renowned. Let's set the stage. In 1981, the Cyclones held a 5-point lead over the Hawkeyes going into the heavyweight match. And unranked Dave Ozenbaugh was facing third-rated Lou Bannock. Anything short of a pin by Bannock would assure an Iowa State win. And then the unexpected happened.
And you can bet that Lou Bannock of Iowa, look at that crowd, with a 5-point Cyclone lead, is going to go out with one thing in mind, and that's to put Mr. Ozenbaugh on his back. That's what they need now if they're going to win the big one tonight, if they're going to win the meet. It'll be a 2019 score, favor of Iowa if they get the fall. Otherwise, the number one ranked Hawkeyes would go down to defeat. Well, now, Bannock is ranked number 3 in the country. He's not a big heavyweight, but all tough one, though. All these Bannocks have got hard, I'll tell you. There's a 2-point takedown. That's lifting a lot of big men up there when he did that. You bet. He got the 2 points. He'd like to go for that ball. He's going after it right now. He's getting all points here, near 4 points. He pulled one out last year for the University of Iowa at 190 pounds, and he's trying to do it again. He's tough. He's going for the fall, and that's what you'd expect him to do at this point. Ozenbaugh's got to get a lot of offense together. His key right now in this match is to move and move and move. Yes. He can't afford to let Bannock work on him, which he was doing everything on him right now. Bannock leads 4-0. I don't believe he gave him any back points that time. Look at him work on that. He's trying to put a cradle on him. Well, Dave's going to have to do some wrestling. If not, he's liable to get himself to the point where he's going to get stalled out of the match. He's got to make some moves. Lou Bannock of Iowa. Here comes that move right now. Pretty fast move on that double leg. You bet. That's the way you'd like to see him. Now Bannock is again trying to hoist him over. He's looking for an opening there, and of course Dave was looking for a roll off of him, but Bannock was kind of giving him part of that move so he could see the opening and maybe get him on his back. Lou Bannock against Dave Ozenbaugh. Bannock is 7-2 this year, ranked 3rd. He wrestled 190 for part of the season last year. His brother Ed then went on to win a national championship at 177. There's the end of the first period. I'm certainly a secret that Iowa State would like to find here for Ozenbaugh to continue to move under there. And of course the secret for the Hawks is to hope that Bannock can catch him on his back. Well, here is the situation. If Bannock wins by a fall, Iowa will win the match. That's the only way they can win the meet. If Bannock wins by more than 12 points, it's a tie, 19-all. If Bannock wins by from 8 to 11 points, it isn't enough, and Iowa State would win. And anything else is an Iowa State victory. So what the Hawkeyes want is a fall. They want a pin. Rosenbaum did the smart thing there as far as down wrestling's concerned. He felt himself losing that move, had to go to his back. He went off his base and gave a two-point reversal. He's got the pedal on him right now, though. Yes, he gets the hooks up. It's going to be trouble.
It's going to be doomsday for Iowa State if he gets it. Now you see Rosenbaum trying to hold on to that leg.
He's got to somehow get that leg straightened out and release that lock that Bannock's got on him.
He's trying to bridge on his elbows now.
He's in a tough spot now.
Uh-oh. He got out.
Oh, he got turned over on it. He lost a three-pointer, but he saved the fall thus far.
Isn't this something?
Bannock's working tough on him.
He sure is. And Rosenbaum's going to have to stay in there. He's going to have to really work. Lou Bannock is calling out the Marines here to get...
I don't know, that roll is okay, but for a big man, he could get caught in his back pretty fast there, and of course, he'd come out the back door, so to speak, there. That's what he'd like to do. And Lou, of course, would like to get him caught on that back.
Nothing happened. It's a minute 25 left in the second period, and Bannock leads 9-0.
We'd like to get the lift on him and put him to his back there if we can, but that's a lot of weight to lift. He's doing a super job wrestling him with that much weight differential. Rosenbaum's got to continue to keep moving and wrestling. He doesn't want to get stalled out of this match or get caught on his back. And of course, Lou's got to keep the pressure on him and keep moving if he wants to get him on his back.
Bannock is severely outweighed here, but boy, he doesn't lack in heart. I'll tell you. He's a toughie.
He's got that arm bar there now. If he could get him turned, he's got 40-some seconds left here yet in this period. He could score the fall in a hurry, but Rosenbaum keeps getting that arm free, and he's standing up again. There's that cradle. If he gets it locked, it could be trouble.
But that was the far side cradle, and I think Lou decided he better try
Here comes the near side.
That's the one he wants.
In order to combat that, he's got to keep those shoulders up, that head up, and don't let him get that lock.
Let's look at the time. 20 seconds left in the second period. It's 9-0, and with the riding time, it's actually 10. There's the Iowa and then the Iowa State coaching match. The crowd in Hilton Coliseum is up. They're on their feet, and what they're doing is giving as much encouragement as possible to Mr. Rosenbaum. Stay off your back, Dave.
They got to keep him moving. He's got to get some offense moving.
Lou Bannock trying to win it for the Hawkeyes as he did last year. The Iowa team coming back from terrible adversity tonight against a really game and vigorous Iowa State Cyclone team. There's the end of the second period.
All kinds of riding time for Lou Bannock, 4 minutes, 13 seconds, and of course leads with a 9-0 score. He'd like to take this next 3 minutes and get Rosenbaum on his back if he can. He's wrestling tough on top. That's tough wrestling with that much weight differential. He's doing a super job, but Dave Rosenbaum's putting some moves together. He's being outclassed is what it amounts to, but he's trying.
The adversity we were talking about earlier was that Randy Lewis, at 134 pounds, suffered a dislocated elbow in his match with Jim Gibbons. He was behind by a point, but it cost Iowa 6 points in the team score. More than that, really. They thought they might win it.
We're getting a lot of help at the match edge, I'm sure, from a lot of people tonight.
Yes, everybody. The assistant coaches are all up. You see,
they're pretty high on him now, but he's putting everything after him he can. Rosenbaum reaching back like that, he wants to be careful. He'll liable to get caught on his back off of his body throw. There comes the bar arm series.
There's the bar arm. And he's got him facing the right way, too.
If he gets it turned, a minute and 50 seconds left.
He locked that, was the far side cradle again. Now Rosenbaum has Bannock in trouble. Bannock is in trouble. And I believe that he might have done better if he'd gone the other way.
Boy, he got it turned. He's got it rolling. He got the 2. He's getting 4 points.
Now listen to this crowd noise. Watch that referee's hand. Watch that. And it's Iowa State. Oh, look at that crowd. Holy mackerel. There you saw it, folks, and this crowd is just ecstatic. Holy cow, it's an upset. Iowa State wins on a last-minute call by Dave Ozenbaugh.
Revenge is the word that comes to mind if you're Lou Bannock and you want a rematch. Having lost by an upset the first time around in 1981 to unranked Dave Ozenbaugh, Bannock sets out to even the score.
And there is Lou Bannock, the heavyweight for Iowa. This is his chance. He wants a little revenge here because this match at Ames against Dave Ozenbaugh was the decider. And you all know what happened there. Ozenbaugh got a pin while trailing 9-0. And Iowa State won. But you see Bannock going right after him again. Yes, he'd like to make revenge over that last showing in Cyclone Country when he was, like you say, when he was well ahead and then got pinned. Now he's got a pretty good power in there. He got the takedown. He's going for the ball. He's got the half down and he's got it deep. Got the outside leg. Pushed up there. Ozenbaugh's far shoulder is still up a little bit, but he's got a whole minute and 17 seconds to flatten. Got a lot of time here. A lot of time. Now he's got that arm stretched out and barred to get that far shoulder down. He's going to score the fall. He's got a 5-point move, a 3-point move without question. He's attempting to get that head lift, half Nelson, and then get the head up off the mat, keep it from bridging. He can't force that shoulder down. I'm taking a lot out of it. Okay, it was with a minute and 22 seconds. There's the only match of the night that wasn't a 3-point decision. It's a pin and a little revenge for Lou Bannock.
Battling Gene Lanham of Oklahoma State, an opponent who was wrestling upper weight class, Iowa's #1 ranked Royce Alger entertained thoughts of a pin as he laid a foundation for his 2 national titles.
And here we go again at 167 pounds. You see the Iowa crowd on its feet with its team leading 13-11 against #1 ranked Oklahoma State. And they're cheering for Royce Alger, ranked #1, ready to go at 167 against Glenn Lanham. And Lanham is coming up from 158 where he is ranked 2nd. This is part of the strategy that Oklahoma State hopes can beat this tough part of the Hawkeye lineup and bring something to heavyweight where they have Tom Erickson. This is something like the thriller from Manila, I'll tell you. It's starting out fast. And it's going to end that way. Royce Alger doesn't have to slow down. Away they go, a little tussle out there. Alger has beaten all his top competition. He beat Kevin Jackson in that big duel against Iowa State. He beat Greg Alinsky. And so did Glenn Lanham, as a matter of fact. He came up to 158 at 167 and beat Penn State's Alinsky. And Alger is 24-0 this year. Alger in the black. And the Iowa Hawkeyes who lead 13-11. Snap single, takes that single. Lanham trying to fight him off and does. Strength against strength right there. Royce was in on the single, but Lanham was able to pick the hand and bring it up. Little shove it. Little shoving. Chad Crowe is each other around right now with no score in the first period.
Everybody's anticipating, even us. I mean, you're anticipating what's going to happen, what's going to be a big move right here. I'll tell you what's happening right here. Royce Alger's being Royce Alger. He likes to intimidate his opponents. Greg Lanham says, I didn't come up here to be intimidated. I came up here to wrestle. And he's really letting him know that he's not intimidated.
Lanham reacted fast after he lost his balance for a second. Here's Alger trying to spin around. Moves quickly. He has the head and arm control on top.
I think it's going to come down to who has it left in the last couple of periods.
Giving Lanham the raspberries. Now he puts Lanham on his back.
Mike Farrell, a three-time All-American at Oklahoma State, suffered the same fate as Gene Lanham. He too had to wrestle up a weight class against a #1 ranked wrestler, Rico Chiapparelli of Iowa.
And Chiapparelli comes out with his team leading 19-11. Well, what would this do to the national rankings? It'd be all a mess. Royce Alger makes it 19-11 in favor of the Hawks with a pin of Lanham, but here's Farrell driving in against Rico Chiapparelli. They are the 177-pounder. Chiapparelli likes this kind of counter position. No points yet. Chiapparelli is good at spots such as this. That means right there. He seems to come out well. There's the Oklahoma State bench. It's a tough situation. As they've gone down by 8, they did not.
Well, the strategy didn't work.
The strategy did not work.
You know, it reminded me when Nate Carr went up against Jim Zaleski a couple of years ago. There's just a big difference in size, and the strategy just didn't work.
And once Alger got Lanham on his back, he had about a minute and a half to just crank.
I seriously believe they underestimated Alger.
Hard to believe anybody could do that, but I think it's possible that they did. Well, Lanham went up against Olinsky.
Well, Lanham's #2 ranked in the nation, but at the weight lower. But
He did beat Olinsky, who is comparable, they thought, maybe, to Alger. Didn't turn out that way. Rico Chiapparelli is also ranked #1. The only loss he had this year was on an injury default to Booker Benford, a former All-American from Southern Illinois. Now, no longer wrestling undergraduate. That's the only loss. Other than that, he hasn't had any close matches. But Farrell is in on the single leg this time. He may have a better chance countering, and he scores.
you know, he has a great leg attack right there, and if Farrell, he should stay on his feet. He should have put his right there. They shouldn't stay on the mat.
2-2 on a reversal.
I'd be surprised if next time Farrell gets in and takes him down again, if he stays on the mat. There's no way he should stay on the mat with Rico Chiapparelli. It's too dangerous.
Chiapparelli just looks big up on top, working that cross face, driving to get a cradle if he can.
He shouldn't, Farrell, if he was thinking out there, shouldn't even have spent that 2 seconds he did on top.
He's a sophomore from Osseo, Minnesota. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And he
Either
was
that or Osseo.
something.
Well, you can see what Rico Chiapparelli's looking for here. He's looking for some type of cradle.
A warning against Farrell on the bottom. Working a little harder.
Crank it up. Offense. Let's start over.
Stalemate. Like to have to get back in action again, starting from somewhere else. Two-score. Takedown by Farrell was countered very quickly by Chipperelli. Rico got a reversal. Crowd is still buzzing here about that big pin by Alger at 167 pounds. So often happens with these Hawkeye teams in their glory years, something big like that happens to turn a meet around. Actually, Iowa was leading by 2, but that put it away a ways. Now Chipperelli's called for stalling.
You know that strategy we were talking about? Oklahoma moved three wrestlers up 3 weights, and in the 4 weights from 142 to 167 where they made the moves, McAllister, Kuzalina, Silva, and Lanham, Iowa scored 15 points and Oklahoma scored 4.
So it was the Hawkeyes middle that came through when they had to.
Iowa's choice third period.
All right.
That was an 11-point swing for Iowa, and if they would have done it the other way, I think it probably would have been closer to a 3 to 4 point swing. So it hurt them.
Well, Mike Farrell decided he's not going to go on the mat for Rico Chipperelli. Yeah, his choice, he's going to start up in defeat.
I just look right here. It didn't make any difference that he had the whizzer in because he covered to the other side with his hips and controlled the legs.
Whizzer doesn't do any good when you step across like that. I can remember somebody once telling me the only person he ever saw who used to step across a whizzer was Dan Gates and get away with it. Now Rico Chipperelli leads by 1. On that last takedown, Rico looked dominant on his feet. Just looks bigger. He looks as if he controls things mentally.
Right, he did there. Farrell was very good that first period on his feet. And so now I'm saying, will the real takedown master come forward?
Minute left in the second
That wasn't a very good shot by Farrell. Chipperelli took advantage.
Nobody counters. It's 177 pounds in this country. Nobody counters as well as Rico. Chipperelli. And when that train starts to roll, it really goes.
Iowa State had a pinner of its own in 1987, and his name was Billy Kelly. Kelly used matches like this one against Oklahoma's Chris Boland to set up his NCAA championship run in the 126-pound class.
We go to 126 between Bill Kelly, second ranked, and Chris Boland, who is, I would say, a 118-pounder.
He's been there 118-pounder this year, most of the year on varsity. He's a strong kid for his weight at 118, but I'd say he's just average strength-wise. Very highly touted high school recruit a couple of years ago. And as I said earlier, Bill Kelly, one of the best in the 126-pound weight class in the nation. But when it comes to wrestling the best, he's got to be on, and sometimes he's not on offensively. Very defensive-minded, but he's the best at it.
Single leg by Chris Boland. Kelly flattens out against it. Boland's been able to reach with that kind of snatch single from the outside twice. And scored nothing at all with it. Kelly in a tight 2-on-1. His 2 arms on 1. He likes that position to work from. Iowa State leads Oklahoma 3-0 after one match. This is a 3-minute period. Long shot, way too far out by Bowen. He did tie it up, but I think Kelly's probably going to be able to counter it.
Here's that leg cradle right here, and we could be in trouble for Oklahoma. He's got the two. He waits for that single leg shot, then he lifts up the opposite leg, sticks his leg in, elevates, and it's called whatever you want to call it, a leg cradle right here, and his shoulders are flat. Look how he secured it with both legs.
Bend it this way and bend it that way. That's what Wisconsin's David Lee did when he encountered an opponent with his bent-leg Turk, a move Dave Schultz mastered in the early 1980s. It paved the way for Lee's success against foes such as Iowa's Bart Chelsvig, who ultimately became a three-time All-American.
Now at 167, it's a star of the future for Iowa, Bart Chelsvig, right out of high school, true freshman from Webster City, against a star now. This is Dave Lee, a junior from Carmichael, California, who had 2 fine years at Stanford before he transferred to Wisconsin. And there's what he likes to do, get a real tough front headlock. Dropped off on the single leg. They're right on the edge of the mat. No score yet.
Stop slow, man. Watch his knee going out.
Dave Lee. Well, he's wrestling in just about his assistant coach's, his coach's Dave Schultz weight, isn't he?
Right, and they're able to work in the room all the time. He's really a protege of Dave Schultz, Olympic champion, 1984.
Dave Schultz, who is not here today because he's coaching the U.S. team in Tbilisi tournament in the Soviet Union, is an assistant coach for Wisconsin. An Olympic champion, a Tbilisi champion.
Chelsea's going to have to get better position. He's going to have to not let Dave tie up that ankle. He needs to come up, put more back pressure into him. Rip leg.
Oh, watch the knee.
It happens every time. Twice. Be careful of it.
2-0. Lee.
Oh, you got to free that ankle.
Had a takedown.
Here we go.
He takes the leg immediately. Returns Chelsvig to the mat. Lee likes to use the legs if he can.
Watch that knee. Watch that knee.
That is what Dave Lee calls a bent leg Turk.
Bent leg Turk, and he thinks the first. No. Now, he's saying that he got the knee to the outside. Andy Ryan wants to talk to him because Andy says, hey, it was legal. He didn't have it to the outside. He can't snap.
Did anything? That's right, because I didn't want it to go into an illegal hole.
It's not illegal though.
It is.
It goes straight over.
Well,
You
that's
gotta take it to the angle.
Well, that's
yeah, but you gotta give him a chance to take it to the angle.
I have the prerogative to stop it before it goes to the illegal, coach, and that's what I did. He was hitting that ankle pretty tough, and that's why I
There's
stopped
nothing
it.
wrong with the ankle though. It's the back that
There isn't right now. The hold itself is why I stopped it, coach, because I didn't want it to go into an illegal. That's why I stopped it for potentially. It wasn't illegal. I call it potential.
Right here. He called it right about here as he started to elevate because he says he didn't want it to be, but I can see Andy Ryan's point there as far as if it wasn't illegal and it wasn't going to be illegal, it's hard to stop my man's favorite move.
As we said, he calls that a bent leg Turk. And you can hear Bart Chelsvig shout when he began to put the muscle to it. Now there he is again.
Be careful with it. It's okay. 1, 2.
Now he has Chelsvig on his back.
4, 5.
Changes position.
There he successfully did it.
And a fall. Oh, is he tough.
That was a wonderfully executed bent leg Turk right to the back. He covered him well with the chest. That was a heck of a win for Dave Lee.
The Iowa crowd is booing, but it's felt that it was a dangerous illegal hold.
It was well done. He steps across right here, comes across the chin right there. Now, he's looking for the points, but now he's going to cover it up with his chest for the pin. Now watch him settle. Watch Dave Lee settle on top, and now put the pressure, and he's lifting up on that leg. That's where the pressure comes from.
1988. The Iowa Hawkeyes were 43-0 at Carver Hawkeye Arena. But the Iowa State Cyclones had them down 15-10, entering the 190-pound class, where the Cyclones had number 1 ranked Eric Volker going against unheralded Brooks Simpson. And at heavyweight, Iowa State had Andy Cope squaring off with Mark Simlinger. With the meet pretty much in hand, Iowa State looked like a sure bet to snap the winning streak. But don't go away.
And Iowa State's Volker is up against the fine sophomore from Iowa, from Newton, Iowa, Brooks Simpson.
Well, there's no doubt who's the favorite here. But I have a feeling that Simpson's the kind of young man that says, okay, this is where I'm at. I'm going to give it my best shot. And in his mind, he's the type of person, he's a winner. He says, I'm going to beat him. And that's the kind of attitude you have to have.
Both up. Again, 2 Iowa high school products. Volker came from Dallas Center. He's a junior. National championship last year. Simpson won the state title 2 years ago at Newton.
You know, Dallas Center, Newton, small town Iowa is so much a part of wrestling here. We have a lot of small towns that contribute to the major college stars.
Stalemate, Lisbon, woke up, Brett.
Webster City, it's great. I come from a small town. In fact, there are 50 people from the Lions Club at Morning Sun up in the stands tonight. We love our wrestling at Morning Sun. It's a proud heritage of wrestling there.
50 people, huh?
Yeah, well, that's over 10%. That's right. That's a big percentage of our town.
It's Simpson against Volker. That's a critical match. Iowa against Iowa State, because the Cyclones lead on the Hawks turf after 43 straight victories. Dan Gable's winning record here is on the line.
It's not over, Doug.
No, Simpson's controlling Volker's head, so he's not able to do quite what he wants to do. Volker won the national championship last year. After a fine season, he only lost twice. This year, he's lost once to a collegiate. And that was Mike Davies of Arizona State. Dropping off. They were both stalling. And he won the return match. They were both warned. So now stalling will be a point offense from now on. A lot of tension here on the 2 benches watching this match. Here's Volker on the leg for the first time. Simpson countering hard. Simpson countering very well. Nothing to show for it.
Right here, Simpson needs to put his hips down. He just covered him well. He covered him very well there. Simpson gave it a good fight, though.
That was one of those scrambles where everybody in the crowd is twitching around in their seat.
Including you and I.
Yeah, we were. 2-0 favor of Volker. Still down. Simpson, Monahart. Dan Gable says that Brooks is very talented. He has great potential. He is coming off a knee problem, however, and so he's probably not in the kind of shape he's going to be here.
And his timing here, you know.
Potentially dangerous. You land on your neck like that, you're down.
Well, Simpson probably feels that Stu was taking away from him there because he feels he was starting a Granby roll from the standing position there. He's tough. His timing's just a little off. He's a roller.
Oh, I'll tell you, a lot of excitement here.
He's got a good...
The crowd was up for a second. They thought Simpson might be putting Volker in some real trouble.
Iowa's choice. Iowa's choice, top, bottom, feeder, defer. Iowa chooses down.
Simpson will start down, Volker up. Let's see that.
Right here, he took him right down.
Top man, you're
Now,
on.
see, this is Brooks starting what he wanted to think of was some type of Granby series.
Standing Granby. All right, Volker hits on the whistle and flattens Simpson out. Good move by Simpson. He's now fighting his hands up, and he's out.
You know, he had control of the hand, and when you have control of the hand, you're out.
Eric Volker of Iowa State against Brooks Simpson of Iowa. Volker knows very well that he's expected to win, and if he has to win, and Iowa State is then going to take Iowa at home.
Two, weights in the hands.
Takedown for Volker. It's 4-1. Two guys with a lot of heart. I'll tell you, I'm really impressed with these two teams up and down the lineup.
Yeah,
This is, I think some of the best top-to-bottom talent we've seen.
I agree with you, Doug.
Return him.
Competitive. Simpson trying to come out, but Volker had him caught on his back for a 2-point near fall.
Two near fall. He put himself where it was fall.
Simpson through the move. Volker's in trouble! Volker's in serious trouble here. Volker's in serious trouble. Holy cow! A lot of time left. A lot of time left. A lot of time. This is a serious problem for Iowa State. 30 seconds left. Saying it best, there's something about that 43-match streak. Something always happens at an Iowa State meet, and I don't think anybody could think of anything more surprising than that.
Right here, chest to chest, he had him. Phil Haynes says he caught him for a second with both shoulders down to the mat.
And now, Iowa is probably in real good shape because they now lead 60-50.
But Doug, it's not over yet. Just like we said before, of course, the favorite's Mark Sindlinger. But like I said, Eddie Banning says, I feel good about my heavyweight. This thing has come down to the last. You're not going to catch me betting on it.
I'll tell you, Volker was ahead 6-1. He had just done a 2-point near fall. Made his mark as a Hawk.
This is team personnel. You can't penalize a home team for spectators.
Compensation was because a lot of people came down from the crowd, out of the crowd. The team point was taken away a while ago, or it would be 16 all. Takedown for Sindlinger. Trying to protect his team.
He's trying to put the cradle on right here. He's really looking aggressive.
That crossface. Crossface cradle try if you can get it. Sindlinger has had wrestling this year to think about. He did not play football. His eligibility in football is used up. So he's been able to concentrate on this sport.
How many times, Doug? Now, who would have called the fall by Brooks Simpson or a win by Brooks Simpson? Certainly not us.
No.
And I said, you know, Brooks Simpson would love to prove everybody wrong. boy, did he want to. It was a burning desire in his heart. It happens every time in a big match like this. Somebody unexpected comes out.
Top man, that's a score line in his hanger. That's a score line.
Volker was leading 6-1 when he got caught on his back.
Has come to serious trouble again.
And it's going to end right here.
It'll end right here. Has to rank as one of the great comebacks of Dan Gable's team. That is something. He's got to be proud of his team after that.
1 year later, 1989, Eric Volker was still smarting over the Brooks Simpson match. Although he had beaten Simpson later in 1988 by an 11-4 margin, the score had not been truly settled. Again, Volker was ranked first. True testimony to the talent of the Cyclone who won 2 national championships.
All right, it's 19-9, a 10-point lead, but Iowa State would need a lot of big things happening here. And Volker is now up against Brooks Simpson of 190 pounds and gets the first takedown.
Stay there and you'll cut.
Here comes Volker's takedown, in on a single leg, and he's just able to attack the hips there and get the 2.
And escape for Simpson. Come back to the center. Last year, that was the big blow down at Iowa City when Brooks Simpson managed to reverse Volker to his back and catch him and pin him in a huge upset, and Iowa won the meet. First of those 2 Hawkeye victories last year. Volker later came back and was the winner at Iowa State. Volker's still rated first in the country at this weight.
Stay in the center, right here. You ready right now, Mark? Here it comes.
He's had some injury problems too lately. Hasn't wrestled a whole lot over the Christmas season and the holiday season and some of the big tournaments. And that's why his record is 9-1-1 instead of something like 19-1-1.
Quick in the center. In the center. Sit. Good job, Brooke. Good job.
Brooks Simpson of Newton, a junior.
Close the gap first before you go.
Eric Volker from Dallas Center, Iowa.
Bring him down the mat there, Brooke. Bring him down the mat. Look up. Back here. Stay in the center of the mat. Right here. Ready.
They've used 1.5 minutes in the first period. Volker, who's a tremendous shooter for 190 pounds.
That was low, too. That was low. He's able to turn this. He could put Brooks into some trouble here. Brooks done a nice job. Brooks Simpson right here is keeping out of trouble so far. Now what Volker needs to do here is finish this and get his 2 points. What a tremendous scramble, and the advantage there comes out to be Brooks Simpson because he dodged some bullets.
You go, Simpson!
Coach Jim Gibbons talks about Volker. The reason he recruited him is because for 190-pounders, he could shoot. Go in there low and take singles and doubles and really go after people. And he's always been able to do that.
Let's go, Brooks. Come on.
Action by Brooks Simpson right there. It's a nice shot, but Volker was able to take it off.
It's important that Volker do something major here, a superior decision or a pin for his team. And Simpson wants to stay in there and give it all he can. He's an extremely talented wrestler.
Well, Volker's he's a bigger looking wrestler there. He's got good reach, and actually he's moved up to heavyweight a couple of times, but you can see the difference there, Doug.
Volker against Simpson. Two products of Iowa high schools. Volker gets his choice.
Down. Rib down.
Simpson, he's already starting to gas. Pick up space.
And he goes down. Simpson will start under.
Your top. Take the starch out.
He starts for the international position, then goes down.
Do
chest, and now he settles down. Chin's in there, chest on top, and he settles. And Don Neff calls the fall. No flaw, just a fall.
That's Eric Volker.
One of the most unusual reactions to a pin during Iowa Public TV's 20 years of college wrestling happened in 1989. Iowa's Andy Heyman was facing the Cyclones' Chris Knudsen in the heavyweight match, Iowa trailing 17-16. Check out the crowd and their part in the celebration.
Tell him, Doug. Tell him what I said to me. He said it's going to come down to heavyweight.
All right. Let's not call this. Let's let the crowd call this one, Doug.
Okay, Andy Hammond, ranked number 6, won a fall in the first period against Chris Knudsen the last time out. And he definitely is favored. He's 26-4. Knudsen is 7-12. But Knudsen has been kind of tough lately. He's dangerous. He can throw. And although Hammond is definitely favored, we've seen things happen here before.
I got to say hi right now to someone who's been a big part of Iowa wrestling. One of his wrestlers from Hillsdale, Oregon came in. The former coach at E-Raps Prairie, Ron James, sent a special hi to me through one of his wrestlers who wrestles for Buena Vista. He's going to get a tape of this match. Hi, Ron James.
You're seeing a great match. Andy Hammond in the black against Chris Knudsen in the red. Hammond would love to get in there. Get under the arms. He wants to have a double underhook and then foot sweep it. That's what he did in Ames. Here comes a high cross move by Hammond. Right to the back.
They're a very happy group.
Well, Andy Hammond can join the ranks of wrestlers who've gone through Iowa State meets who said they won the meet. It went down to them and they were ready. And so, Andy Hammond wins on a fall in 48 seconds. Let's look at it again.
Look at this right crotch right here. Lifts, gets the hips underneath him, lifts him, and drives across with the opposite arm right down to the mat. Shoulders to the mat. Wonderful execution by Andy Hammond in the fall right there.
One of the most nonchalant pinners of our 20 years had to be Tom Ortiz of Arizona State. In 1990 at the National Team Duels, he pinned his way through the tournament. Here he buzzes Eric Wilson of Oklahoma State and roots for his 3-time All-American status.
Ortiz has lost only once this year. Isn't very often you see somebody go 3 straight pins in a tournament like this.
Well, and he does it with a lot of style. He has his favorite moves. I call him Cradles Ortiz because he loves the cradles, and I'm sure we're going to see it here in this match. But he's got a tough competitor in Eric Wilson, a junior from Oklahoma State, out of Ponca City, Oklahoma.
This is one of those places where Oklahoma State is not favored, but hopes to pull an upset or keep it very close because, again, Arizona State doesn't have a heavyweight. Oklahoma State knows that the more surprises they can pull along the way, the better the chance they have of wrapping up this first place. There's a single-leg takedown try by Ortiz. He missed it, slipped off, but he got it anyway.
Well, actually, it looked like Eric Wilson lost his balance. He was trying to counter Ortiz there, but he kind of lost his balance, and Ortiz was able to come up with the takedown.
And he goes right into that spiral ride with a claw under the throat there.
They do spiral at Arizona State.
Spiral and jam. Here's the single leg right here.
Now, Eric Wilson tried to throw by, shuck by, but he lost his balance, fell back, and Ortiz came up with the 2-point takedown.
So Ortiz goes on top. You'll see him try to jam hard, maybe put in the legs. He has a lot of variety on top. He has an arsenal of weapons.
He's a two-time All-American and looking to win a national championship this year. Tom Ortiz, Arizona State.
Now you see him reaching across for the other arm, under the chin. That's cross-face. He's tough with that.
We've talked a lot, Doug, about there's not a lot of difference between talent in these young men. There's just a little bit of difference between experience sometimes on each team. Eric Wilson's a two-time state champion out of Ponca City, Oklahoma, but not quite as much varsity experience as the two-time All-American Tom Ortiz.
Ortiz leads 2-0.
Look how close he is. He's just like a flea. He doesn't want to get off yet. He just stays real close to you, always looking, it seems like, for that cradle situation. There he is. Ready to get the head to the knee.
And lock the hands together. That's his specialty. You saw in the semifinal action that we showed, he managed to lock up the cradle. There he is going for the crossface over on the far side. Post that shoulder, the opposite shoulder to the mat if he can. Now, Wilson's able to break away from it, but he's not really getting anywhere. He's being ridden hard by Ortiz at the end of the first period.
Well, he's not getting anywhere, right, but he also knows what's coming, and the coaches coach against other wrestlers. In this case, they're saying, hey, watch out where your head is. They're saying, don't get in that cradle position because you'll never get out of it. So they spend a lot of time, when you wrestle someone like Tom Ortiz, their opponent, spend a lot of time staying out of a certain position.
Now the choice went to Ortiz, and because he's ahead 2-0, he's going to start on the bottom. Maybe pick up an escape point start.
Ortiz has had brothers wrestle. Eddie Ortiz was a 1980 All-American at Arizona State, and his brother Richard wrestled at Arizona State also.
Here he turns in on Wilson, but he's not out.
Wilson's staying tough here. This is a tough scramble right here, but Wilson's really a tough wrestler, and he's staying tough with Tom Ortiz.
Good balance. He knew right where he was all the way through that little scramble.
Speaking of little family, Eric Wilson is a nephew of Shelby Wilson, a gold medalist in 1960 for the USA, and his brother Jody Wilson, younger brother, also wrestles on the Oklahoma State team.
But Ortiz finally got out, and he leads 3-0. Now he's in solidly on the leg.
Now see, he's in on a single, but he wants to reach across and get that other leg there. He's going to work towards trying to get that ankle, or he's not going to get this takedown. Because Eric Wilson has a whizzer in, and he's trying to control the hand. See, he has Ortiz's hand, trying to keep it from his other ankle, trying to post it out so Ortiz isn't able to get better position.
That whizzer is the overhook. You see him reach back over Ortiz's arm.
Ortiz trying to step over, but that whizzer still keeping Ortiz out of his legs right there, and he did a nice job. Eric Wilson, a nice job. But there,
He got back on
he did
the
get far leg. See, a little kick, and now Eric Wilson's in trouble.
Still has the whizzer. He hasn't released that, but Ortiz limp arms out, and there it is. Takedown.
Yeah, right there, Eric Wilson had no other, well, so to speak, no other leg to stand on, Doug, because Tom Ortiz took it away. He just broke the leg away.
5-0 in favor of Ortiz of Arizona State. Impressive here in his attempt to put the Sun Devils in a position where even without a heavyweight, they can beat Oklahoma State.
Well, he knows what he has to do right here, and there he goes. Look at that crossface. There's only 8 seconds left, so I doubt if anything's going to happen in this period right here. But, man, he keeps a lot of pressure. Ortiz does on his opponent's head, looking for that cradle.
And we're at the end of second period now, action in the championship meet between Oklahoma State and Arizona State. If you joined us late, Arizona State doesn't have a heavyweight. They didn't have one make the trip because he's injured. And so they know that they're going to lose 6 points for the team at that level.
And it keeps the pressure on people like Tom Ortiz to get more than a 3-point victory. They're looking for the fall. And of course, it's Eric Wilson's job to get in there and win, but if you can't win, don't give up the fall.
Keep it close. Keep it close.
Melvin Douglas there, assistant coach for Arizona State, former national champion from OU, helping Bobby Douglas.
Tough tight race by Ortiz. Flattens his man right down. This is where he likes to work.
There's a figure 4 on the leg down there. Getting him out of position. You're on the side of the hip. There's not much Eric Wilson can do when he's in that kind of position. And this is all seems to be a part of a plan from Tom Ortiz as far as looking for that cradle.
Wilson, the crossface. Now you can see Ortiz trying to lock his hands. He got it locked.
He has the cradle right there, and the arm slipped up, and that actually hurt Tom Ortiz.
Yes. Look at
Tom Ortiz is very excited.
Man, what a record.
Well, I'm most impressed here because the team needed it. The pressure was on, the team needed it, and Tom Ortiz went after it against a tough wrestler.
And that puts Arizona State up 10-9. Those are some of those extra points that the Sun Devils need.
Here it is, right here. He had the crossface, and right, he rolls through. There went Eric Wilson's arm through, and that actually helps Ortiz. His back is flat. The match is over.
He had no chance right there.
That was a nice series because the whole time, I'm impressed with the persistence of Tom Ortiz. He just kept going for it. That's how good he is.
Dan Knight of Iowa State and Terry Brams of Iowa had some interesting battles in high school. Knight got the best of the future world champion in those days, but when their rivalry renewed in college, the results were often quite different.
Number 1 ranked defending national champion Terry Brams for Iowa against number 4 ranked Dan Knight, All-American from Iowa State.
Contrasting styles here. And what needs to be done by Iowa State here is to open up. Danny Knight needs to open up if he expects any kind of opportunity, because he can throw. He's dangerous. He can throw from anywhere, and he's a big move wrestler. Terry Brams, on the other hand, is a picker, and he can just pick you apart. He has so many things that he can do, but he's relentless. He keeps coming at you. He's a penetrator and more of a lower body attack.
The first time they met, Terry Brams was a 4-0 winner. It was a close match, but Knight was unable to take him down or get away from underneath.
Looking good, Dan. Looking good, buddy. Keep the pressure on.
Brams and Knight, two of the best to come out of Iowa high schools. Dan Knight, a 4-time high school champion,
Undefeated in high school. Dan Knight out of Clinton, Iowa.
They're both juniors.
That's it.
Iowa leads 3-0 after 118 pounds. Zapito came on stronger as the match went on and beat Aiken 8-3. Brams in on a single leg. He still doesn't have it. Something of a whizzer by Knight. He gave it up for Terry Brams. Get to work, 2-0 on a single leg takedown by the defending national champion Terry Brams, whose brother Tom will not be seen tonight except when he goes out to have his hand raised. Iowa State forfeits at 134 tonight. Nobody weighed in.
Get your hips out right now. Hips out. Right now. Come on, partner.
When these two teams met in Ames, Iowa won the first 7 matches and then lost the last 3.
A lot of Iowa's fast starts right here. He's in on the single, and look how Terry Brams gets his head to the outside, cuts off to a double, comes to his feet, gets good position, and now, finally at the end of this, Dan Knight sees that he's in too much trouble. He might give up 4 or 5, and he's going to give up 2. And that was because of a good position by Terry Brams.
Back in action again with a minute and a half to go in the first period. Brams, you see, was trying to load up Knight and tilt him for back points. When they have been relatively close in the past, those back points make all the difference.
I think the difference between Terry and Tom Brams and a lot of wrestlers in most wrestlers, they have periods of time where they let up a little bit and they get involved with technique and aren't as tough on top or whatever. Terry Brams is relentless. He just is on top of you. It's like having a jackhammer on top of you or against you the entire match. That wears down the best of them.
Really tough forearm on Knight's right arm, and preventing the Iowa State wrestlers from going anywhere. He's trying to double up both.
Well, Iowa likes to call him one half of the branding irons. And, you know, that's a kind of a corny sounding cliche, but it's true because it's just on you all the time, and it's probably a mark that never comes off.
And Knight, who has a history of shoulder problems too, by the way, has a tough time when Terry Brands gets him in that bar. 2-0, Terry Brands over the Iowa State wrestler Dan Knight. International start.
Right down, hip down.
Then Brands comes down. He's not going to let him go.
Stand up, he's gonna sit out.
20 seconds to go in the first period of 126 pounds. And again, Brands has been wrestling very tough on top, as he did against him the first time.
You see that pressure?
A warning against Knight.
See that pressure that Terry Brands is putting on? He's got the arm behind the back. He's got the pressure on him all the time. And he's trying to turn him, see? He's trying to get it so that he can pry the arm back and drive it over.
A lot of riding time, minute 57. So Brands has 2 for the takedown and a potential point with that one.
Ready the first, three.
Dave Frisch asks
Green goes down.
Dan Knight what he wants to do, and he defers. Brands will start on the bottom.
Again, we talk about how good the Iowa State wrestler is that's on the short end of it. Dan Knight finished 3rd in the nation last year. This is the first and 3rd finishing people at 126 last year.
Stayed under for 11 seconds there and then came out. And he now leads 3-0 in on a double leg against Dan Knight.
And it's got to be a tough double leg because Dan Knight is really good in that position against almost any other wrestler. He had an opportunity to hit a headlock there, and he was really proficient at that. But Terry Brands kept coming forward with that hit with his tight and his strong.
5-0 here. 5-0 in favor of Brands, and he's back on the bar arm again. Dave Frisch, who has a microphone on him, by the way, you can hear him talk to the wrestlers, wants to make sure that the angle on the shoulder doesn't get dangerous. Half Nelson by Brands, he and the Iowa bench are furious. He thought he was in bounds.
Here, this takedown, the reason Terry Brands got it is he's never really got out of bad position, period. Boy, I'll tell you what, that last takedown there to the back, or that last drive to the back by Terry Brands was very close as being legal or not. It looked like it was inbounds. Dan Gable's words were, "Are you kidding me?"
5-1 in favor of Brands. That's the first point in 2 matches that Knight has been able to score against one of the branding irons, and he's just taken it to Dan Knight on his feet. That way he just powered him down. And now Dan Knight's going to have to get his head together or he's going to get beat bad here. 72 is the score, and Brands is really working him over on his feet. Here he comes, 9-2.
You know, he snaps, you know, it's just incredible. We have injury time here.
Knight is complaining about the shoulder. Here's Iowa coach Dan Gable.
Look at this, he's in tight right here, stays in good position, gets the whizzer there, then comes back around and stuffs the head right here. Now, snaps the head and goes around for the takedown right there. He hit his head on the mat a little bit there, I think, and also his shoulder right there. Shoulder hurt there from the drive, but Terry Brands snaps and goes around, drops the legs, snaps, goes around behind the arms, drops the legs, cradles. You saw him start to cradle up. He has so many.
Now they're still working over
Right here he comes around again. Right here. Now watch his head right here. His head hits there on the mat, and
I don't think it had much to do with it.
And then he whizzers the shoulder around here, and then when they're going out, you see him drive.
Back to the center again. Terry Brands has piled up now a 9-2 lead over Dan Knight. And he's begun to pile it on here. We have 25 seconds to go in the second period.
Knight goes into the down position. Brands up by 7 with riding time, a ton of it. 2 minutes and 38 seconds goes to work on top. Knight has been warned once. Now there's the bar arm on the arm that Knight was nursing a moment ago. Brands going to work. Period ends 9-2. Good choice.
Bonnie Brands, he only gets to see one of her sons wrestle tonight. Sometimes that can be a blessing. Moms get so darn nervous.
Knight gets his choice. He will start in the down position.
When I was wrestling, my mom always had a seat by herself. Nobody would get close to her. They got elbows to the side and everything else.
Come on, Danny, suck it up.
Well, that's why I think a lot of people sit far apart at wrestling meets because it's pretty hard to watch and sit stone still if you're a fan at all. Terry Brands leads 9-2, starts in the top position. He's trying to lock up a cradle here.
He can do it from anywhere. And he will. He'll try it from anywhere.
Puts the head in the side. He has dominated Dan Knight here at 126 pounds. He would not know. There's a point on the bottom against the bottom man. 10-2 now. It's a major decision.
You know, he said that Danny Knight was laying on his belly.
He has Knight with a half Nelson. To the mat. And he has a lot of time. There it is. With a minute and 10 seconds left. That's his 15th fall of the year.
Eight defeated falls, and I think there's a big difference between number 1 next year and a lot others. Here, look at this. Underhook right there on the bar, driving over with the chin. You have the chin tight right there. You keep chest to chest. It wasn't wrong. Shoulders flat for the fall.
And that's it. 5 minutes and 50 seconds into the match. The winner by a fall, he was leading at the time 10-2, is Terry Brands. T.J. Jaworski of North Carolina became a 3-time NCAA champion, whose mystique will no doubt grow. And to those who saw the outstanding wrestler of the 1995 NCAA tournament, as Iowa's Eric Allen did, they witnessed it firsthand. The man who's been here this year at Iowa has been Bill Zadek. However, he's been a little injured, and so there you see Eric Allen for Iowa, who is a 3-time state champion from Belle Plaine, Iowa. Sophomore from Belle Plaine High School. And he's up against maybe the best that North Carolina has to offer, who just got the first takedown for the Tar Heels. That's T.J. Jaworski, who last year wrestled at Oklahoma State.
Well, he's a super kid. He's a transfer, like you said, from Oklahoma State, and he wanted to wrestle this year, and he either knew something was in the wind or he just didn't see the room down there for him at Oklahoma State at the weight he wanted to wrestle. Last year at 126, this year up to 134. He's really aggressive. He was a 4-time state champion out of Oklahoma. Really tough kid.
And he won the Midlands Championship just over the holidays, and that's a big-time tournament because it isn't only collegians there. It's anybody in the amateur world. Let's see that first takedown.
He snaps him down. Good counter, and it actually a snap, and he floated right around there. Snap and spin.
2-0 in favor of Jaworski.
Even kind of looks like one of the Brands is a little bit. Replacing Tom Brands at this weight last year, 3-time NCAA champion. He is an assistant coach this year for the Hawks. Terry Brands, the other NCAA champion Brands, is a strength training coach for Iowa. Emphasizes.
Well, he comes right around front, grabs the head, tries for the trick, takes Allen to the back, and now Iowa's Allen is in a serious
He can take something right there. That was
There's another fall. This one goes to North Carolina with 127 gone. In 127, a fall for North Carolina's T.J. Jaworski.
Allen was just a little bit out of his weight class there. Normally a 126-pounder up replacing Zadek at 134, but Jaworski, I'll tell you, he's one of the top 3 or 4 kids in the nation. Look at this. Head in the arm right there, chest to chest, brings it back, hips down, hips down, hips down. Now he covers the body, hooks in the legs, and then extends. Look at that arch. The arch right there is what did it.
Penn State's Kerry McCoy was as dominant as they come in the sport. When he settled into the heavyweight position in the lineup, he immediately became a force to be reckoned with. Here he is against Iowa's Mike Manganiello in 1994.
Iowa is sending out Manganiello.
I think you got it.
Yeah. Try to put those G's and I's where they belong. And his opponent is Kerry McCoy, ranked 7th in the country, a sophomore undefeated this year, 9 wins and 4 pins for Penn State. He's having an exceptional year. He was a 190-pounder last year. He made 190 pounds 16 times, but he is smaller than most heavyweights. And here comes Manganiello in for the first takedown. He leads to another.
Well, what's interesting about Kerry McCoy is he's also not only a great student, but he played cello in the church choir. He's very versatile and very relaxed as a person. And then he also wrestles internationally. He was the Pan American gold medalist for the United States this last summer.
Manganiello let him up. It's 2-1 in favor of the Iowan. One of a number of heavyweights. In fact, we were telling a funny story about the first meet of the year in Iowa City, where Phil Hattie, who's the sports information director here and does the PA work on the Iowa wrestling meets, introduced all 4 of the heavyweights who weighed in for Iowa, and then said, "Is there anybody else here who wants to wrestle?" in the crowd.
Action.
Kerry McCoy, undefeated, but behind here 2-1.
Last year, McCoy wrestled a whole lot of matches. I mean, he wrestled 36, 37 matches last year. One more than he lost, but the experience he gained was tremendous at 190 pounds. He's done growed up, you know, and he's going to be a good heavyweight.
Here we go. We're at heavyweight. Halfway through the first period with Manganiello of Iowa leading Kerry McCoy of Penn State 2-1. But McCoy is in on his first really good shot. We'll see if he can score with it.
Right foot. Wait on your right foot. Nice. Keep going that way. Keep going that way.
Manganiello is holding on to that
Keep back over.
Kerry McCoy foot for dear life.
Keep going. Stalemate.
Neutral. Stalemate. That means the official feels it's not going anywhere. The man can improve his position. Brings him back to the middle. McCoy will have to find another move that works. He has not been able to get one on Manganiello yet.
You know, McCoy is a wrestler that looks more like a 77-pounder as far as his move. He moves underneath. One of the things he's going to have to watch out as he wrestles heavyweight is to not go under early. I think he's going to be in great shape come third period because he's going to be able to out-quick him, and he'll be able to go under him maybe later on in the match. But even here with Manganiello, right there, you could get caught underneath a heavier person and get really in big trouble.
McCoy used a shock there on McCoy. Throw by, but he wasn't able to keep Manganiello from coming back face-to-face with him.
So much head position.
And then Manganiello was able to use his weight and almost give McCoy some problems. So it's 2-1 in favor of Manganiello of Iowa at heavyweight.
Get out of that underhook. Come over the inside. Circle on. Circle on.
Not much time left in the first period, as you can see. Here comes Manganiello.
Down. Get out the underhook.
First period, Manganiello's in there. Leading 2-1. He has his choice. And I think he's going to go on his feet. How about that? If Iowa wins, and they have won, there's no question about it, Dan Gable has won his 300th meet as a coach. 300 in 18 years. I don't think that's what he's thinking about right now. He's thinking of Mike Manganiello. Started on top.
Use it, top man.
Well, you know the Iowa Wrestling Club, the Booster Club, is so proud. They're very loyal.
Oh, here's the coin in the reverse.
3-2.
Drive!
Now let's see what McCoy can do on top against a somewhat bigger man. Manganiello weighed in at 240 pounds. McCoy at 224. That's what you don't want to happen. He recovered well, McCoy did, but he dropped his hips down. Now you have your legs in, you've got to keep your hips up, just like he's doing now. But if you drop them down on the mat, all that a bigger heavyweight like Manganiello has to do is kind of roll over and you're caught. A minute to go in the second period. It's a 1-point lead. There's a warning.
You gotta have some action, okay? Action. What's he supposed to do? He's got to improve it. Get out of some
against McCoy, and the Penn State coaching staff, of course, is unhappy about that. You're Keith Pullman saying he needs to improve it.
You gotta move, Mike, not him!
We're halfway through the second period at heavyweight.
Action, guys.
Carver Hawkeye, Manganiello of Iowa against Terry McCoy of Penn State. McCoy got a reversal and now leads 3-2.
Pressure!
With that length, he's got so much leverage right there. If he does, he's working on that near wrist right there, and he's got a lot of leverage, a lot of strength. There's a warning. There's the first warning against an Iowa wrestler tonight. That's a warning against Manganiello for inactivity on the bottom.
Use it, top man. Let's use that. On your toes. Right forward. On your toes. On your toes. Drive.
There's that roll by the heavier man. And again, McCoy was able to get his balance back. He was able to... And a good ride. He has a minute and 8 seconds of riding time, McCoy. So now Manganiello has his choice and he takes down. He's going to have to come out now this time. But he wasn't able to do it at the end of that period. McCoy leads 3-2. McCoy trying to slap on a cradle right there. And he's got it hooked up. He has it hooked up. Now the thing is, you have to horse the man over, and he's a big man. He tried to roll through. He's going to try to bring him back. Yeah, he wasn't able to keep it hooked up. Manganiello, feet out. If he can get that ankle and drop down and drive through, see, right here, he's got to get it now, though. He's got to take it while he's got it. He's got good position. If he can drop the hip, he's got to reverse it right through. He's got to get his feet. Doesn't have it yet. McCoy did a great job recovering it now. Now he has Manganiello on his back. They put a turnaround. And there it is. Great leverage by McCoy there, because he was in big time trouble, but he was able to get that arm and feet and catch it. And he came around with his leverage. What a turn of fortunes right there at the end. Wasn't that something?
In our 70s flashback, two-time All-American Bud Palmer of Iowa tangles with the Cyclone's Dave Allen, two-time All-American himself. As is customary in a Hawk-Cyclone struggle, the ending is unpredictable. And Iowa leads 19-15 as we go to 177, and the meet isn't over. It's Allen of Iowa State who's in on the double leg against Palmer of Iowa. He went into that dug off of a single, from a single to a double, and made it work real easy for two. Allen, a sophomore from Grand Rapids, Minnesota, 23-6. Palmer has come down from 190 this year to wrestle at 77. He's from Muncie, Indiana, a senior, 18-7-2. And the team score, Iowa 19, Iowa State 15, and this thing is not in the barn for the Hawkeyes yet. Far from being over, far from being over. I'm Doug Brown with Dave Hardy here for IPBN, and we're happy to be bringing this meet to you wherever you're watching in the country. All across the country for broadcast stations in the public sector. We've had 30 seconds gone in the match at 177 pounds, and Dave Allen of Iowa State leads by 2.
He got a nice forearm over there and scissoring that near leg for control. So in this case, Palmer is not able to put too much together underneath.
Out of bounds. 2-0, a minute 6. There's Dan Gable in the center. On the left is Jay Robinson.
That second disqualification match tonight really has brought on a great deal of more momentum for the Cyclones in these upper weights.
Bud Palmer of Iowa was third, 190 pounds, 2 years ago. Or was it 3?
I believe 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Now Allen on top, brings Palmer to the mat again. Now tries to break him down with a near arm.
Dave Allen is changing his attack on top. He's moving from side to side real well, variety of attack on the top, and consequently Palmer is not able to put a lot together in the bottom.
Back to the center again, 40 seconds left, first period. 2-0, Allen leads. There's Harold Nichols. That's a good look at Dave Allen, who never won a high school title. The best he ever did was third in the Minnesota high school tournament.
His high school coach, we might add here at this point, was former Mesa City High School prep Smith Norverd Nalen, who was a high school coach at Grand Rapids and later a national champion at Michigan. So he's got a little Iowa flavor in him before he came here.
Allen on top, and Bud Palmer, who's been a mainstay for Iowa for all these 4 years of his competition. On the bottom, you see Allen has the hammer lock. Arm barred there with 19 seconds left. Chicken wing, Palmer rolling into it.
Allen's controlling him real well on top. He's putting a lot of pressure. He's got his weight distributed well. Good sense of balance. He moves from side to side periodically to change his attack, and consequently Palmer's not putting much together down there.
That's the chicken wing. 2-0. End of the first period.
Allen looks tough.
There's the Iowa bench. We're looking along there at some of the boys, some of them who've wrestled, Dave Fitzgerald and John Bowlesby who haven't yet. And now, with a plaid shirt, is Chuck Yagla, who was a great national champion at Iowa. Allen is out. Back to live action. 3-0 with 5 seconds gone in the second period. Allen against Palmer. I wonder sometimes how much coming down to 77 weakens a man like Palmer.
Well, I think the secret here, and I don't know what his weight has been all season long, but they indicate on the Iowa staff that it does not weaken him coming down because he's wasn't a heavy 90-pounder. He was a light 90-pounder, so coming down doesn't amount to that much of a problem for him. I would only say this, not having wrestled 77 yet this year becomes a problem for the first time. He's not ever wrestled against these kids this weight, so that could be a little bit of a problem.
It's his second time out. He did this. Beautiful move by Palmer, who has Allen on his back. And this is a serious situation for Iowa State. Palmer managed to get Allen in a throw, and it's 2 minutes left, and that's it. What a move! There was one that turned the meat around. Iowa Public Television hopes you enjoyed memorable matches. Your purchase of this tape makes it possible for Iowa Public TV to continue to produce outstanding college wrestling meets for wrestling fans nationwide. If you'd like more information about how to order other IPTV wrestling tapes too, write to College Wrestling Iowa Public Television, Box 6450, Johnston, Iowa 50131. That's College Wrestling Iowa Public Television, Box 6450, Johnston, Iowa 50131. I'm Doug Brown. Thanks again for your support of Iowa Public Television.
Funding for this program was provided by members of Friends of Iowa Public Television. 70,000 individuals and families helping Iowa Public Television inform, enlighten, and enrich your life. Join them.